Well, hello everybody. We've got CRKT in the house, Field Strip Technology. You know, I got a few of these knives recently because I never did get much past the home front. And then, you know, for 2019, they had a bunch of Field Strip knives that were made not only by Ken Onion, this is the Slacker, but by Bogsnes and Calmer and Burnley that also did Field Strip knives, correct? So these are the ones that I got recently because I never did really look these over other than when I was at the SHOT Show in 2019 as new models and didn't really do much during the year to get them on my channel, but now I am. Now that we're coming up on 2020 SHOT Show where they're going to have, you know, a bunch of new models. Let's get this out of the way. And, you know, I think they're significant. I like the Slacker, probably my favorite other than the home front and maybe even more than the home front because it's so lightweight, yet it's EDCable. You know, these are liner lock flipper knives and you can take them apart real easily. There's a release and there's a release and I'll pop it apart here in a second. Model number K350KXP Slacker, okay, made in Taiwan, all right, and nothing much in the box, just paperwork, that kind of thing. So nothing fancy there, but they're not that expensive. This one is kind of more expensive than some of the others. Some of the others are in the $59 range. This is $79, so this is a little bit more expensive, but some of the others have FRN or kind of rubber, hard rubber scales, and this has got aluminum, so that's probably part of it. It's certainly not the blade steel, which, did they even put it on here? No. 1.411 stainless steel, which is like a German steel, which is pretty much an equivalent of, see, here's the 14116 steel that's on the blade. And you can look at carbon content, manganese, chromium. It's in the stainless range, a little bit of vanadium, molybdenum. But you can see here, it kind of lines up more with 425 if you want to compare them. Pretty much the same carbon content, manganese, chromium. And if you look across here, a little bit of vanadium, same. Moly, about the same as well. So I'd say it's right in there. And it's nothing special. So yeah, I knew it was like in the 400 series stainless kind of equivalent there. Not, you know, not my favorite steel, but it's a user steel, and one thing for sure is you can always maintain it. So it's not a super steel where you're going to have diamond stones and things like that to be able to sharpen it. So yes, and so being a field strip, maybe also a field sharpen capability here. Backspacer, deep carry pocket clip, right hand only, it looks like to me. I don't see a left hand option here. But that's nice, and it's pretty dang light. It's not all that big. So let's go to grams. 73 grams, roll back to ounces. 2.5 ounces. Pretty dang light. Not much above the bug out, but, well, let's see. Speaking of the bug out, of course, this bug out's way more expensive. But there you go. Not a whole lot of difference in the size either. Although it's not that tiny. Yeah, over 3 1/4. So about 3.3 inch blade. Not bad. 85 centimeters and 7.5 inches overall at about 19 centimeters. And blade stock on that beautiful high quality steel blade. 0.110 and not quite 3 millimeters. 2.79, 2.8, 11.8 millimeters. Come on, please give me inches. There we go. 0.46. So about the same thickness, really, as like a paramilitary 2, which isn't terribly thick. But, of course, blade stock is way lighter. Paramilitary 2 is 3.5 or heavier, and this is definitely, I mean, this is only 2.8, so definitely a difference in the thickness of the blade stock. Ergos. Feels pretty good in the hand, and there's room for all 4 fingers. Got a little choil up here for sharpening. It's a flat grind. Piercing, slicing. Will it be a knife? Let's see. Okay. Yeah, pretty reasonable as far as a factory edge. Pass-through's easy to make contact with, to disengage, and you can see right there, that's 50% right now on that lockup. Detent is what it is, and who cares, and it's not a ball bearing pivot flipper regardless. So there's really no drop to this blade. A little bit, you know what I'm saying, but it's on nylon washers in there, so nothing too big there as far as being able to gravity flip it. The blade's so light and everything, I'm not able to gravity flip it, but it doesn't mean you can't fail it. You can fail it. I can fail it easy, real easy. So it doesn't act like a ball bearing flipper because it's not, but that's okay. But you could still, I mean, it's got jimping on the flipper tab. Flipper tab's decent size, not overwhelming. You can kick it right open. So you know, it's not bad for what it is, and what it is, you know, a field strip knife on washers, and so it should be a good little worker blade. You know, you can always maintain it on the strop pretty easily, and these are my LTK strops if you're interested in getting one of these 2-sided rubber feet. Trying to pimp my own products, huh? What are you doing here? And this is a PVC type material, so it's not wood. But yeah, I mean, it's real easy to maintain because of that kind of steel. So not that difficult. If you're a steel snob or all you're into is super steels, then this is not the knife for you. If you got to be ball bearings and you have to have a fidget flipper, this knife is not for you. But I think for a light, easy carry knife that you can disassemble quickly and put back together, it's not too shabby. I like the design on it. Look at the design. It flows. I mean, here back into the bolster, here, all the way around. Look at the back spacer. That's nice. Aluminum. Not too bad there. Quality, fit and finish. Not bad. Take a look at the centering. It's probably a little off, don't you think? Maybe favors that side a little bit. But, you know, I think I've kind of noticed that on the field strip knives. They're not all dead centered, and so that's not going to be perfect on those. And to the best of my knowledge, I mean, these things are interesting. You know, disassembly, this one unscrews like that, and it's righty-loosey, lefty-tighty. Probably because the way this thing might tighten or loosen as you're handling the knife. So they did it that way. Then this releases as well, and the whole thing comes off. Looks like there's a little weight relieving under here. This is a washer that you could pull out of here, but you can see that it's kind of got a little lip in there that kind of pushes in there and holds. okay? So hopefully that won't come out in the field. See what I'm saying? Other than that, then you've got the blade, which has an internal stop. And then you've got this washer on the other side, which you can pull as well. And you can see there's no little lip on that puppy. It is what it is. And there it is. Just a regular washer here. Well, I had to kind of work it to get it to come off, so whether that would just fall off in the field or not, your guess is as good as mine is. And there's your lock bar, which is screwed down internally here, and you can see the ends that come through here. So yeah, it's mounted that way. Stop pin. So easy to put back together. So you could just pull it apart, clean it, kick it back together. And in reassembling, I usually screw this down first and then push this together and kick it. So, and lefty is not loosey, lefty is tighty. So I'm gonna go lefty tighty. And then now that I'm tight on that, and this tends to stick pretty tight, this particular model, or this particular unit. And then I push it together here, and then lower this tab, and I'm back together. So, no sweat there. It's reasonably centered. I'm not going to bitch and moan about that. This is grippy here. See what I'm saying? Lock bar pass through, easy. No lanyard hole. So there you are, you're without that. But the ergos are good. Fit and finish is decent. Detent's really a non-issue. And design flow's good. Blade to handle length is good. That's efficient use. And where does it balance? Oh, I got to get back here, don't I? I'm going to get back in the back to get that to balance. And right here, some jimping up on top of the blade so you can put your finger out there. I don't know. You could sneak up here a little bit. You need to watch it if you're going to. But yeah, slacker. I like this design. This and the home front, my two favorites to date. And you guys, thanks for hanging out. No big deal, but I just wanted to talk about it. I think it's important. These field strip technology knives are interesting, and they're from significant designers. You know what we do. We love them knives. You guys, stay sharp.